Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, for the PS2 to be precise. You know, as a kid, as any other kid back in whenever this whole thing started out, I think it was like in my elementary school years, I was a really big fan of Harry Potter. In fact, I was the kid in elementary school that would go into the reading corner to read all about Harry Potter, and especially when I heard that there were rumors of a sex scene. And, you know, as any other kid in elementary school that's a boy, you're just like, wow, sex! It's not even about the magic anymore, it's all about the sex. In fact, my next-door neighbor brother and I would even go outside and play Harry Potter in our front yards as kids. She would play as Harry, I would play as Ron, and my brother would pout because he'd have to play as Hermione.
Ha! Take that, Connor! Believe it or not, I actually never saw The Prisoner of Azkaban. I just kind of skipped over it. I saw the Sorcerer's Stone, the Chamber of Secrets, said screw that, saw the Goblet of Fire, then skipped all the way to the last movie, The Deathly Hallows. And despite reading the books, I managed to skip this one, so I have no idea what's going on, even though video games based off of movies have hardly any correlation with each other. Alright, so our heroes start off on a lovely train ride to Hogwarts. In the midst of all this senseless talking that I totally paid attention to, Ron's pet rat, Scabbers, escapes, and that's when you actually start playing the game. And boy, does it play well! That's a lie, I'm sorry. The first thing I noticed was that the reaction is slightly delayed when you move. Sure, this doesn't really affect the game. The worst thing that could happen is that I don't react quick enough to boss fights, and it's a nitpick, yes, but come on, guys. As you progress to the next room, you'll find Malfoy and his goons terrorizing Scabbers. Swiftly, you're pushed into the combat part of the game, which we'll talk about that later. But I will mention how I would have to get up really close to even connect a shot, and some of them didn't even count as a hit. Anyway, you beat the Three Stooges, you recover Scabbers, and then the Grim Reaper arrives. That escalated. Harry had too much to drink prior to the train ride, so Ron has to lug him out before he picks a fight with the Grim Reaper. Eventually, your buddy who backs you up when you talk too much smack steps in to fight for you. Harry wakes up the next morning with no recollection of sweet love he made with Ron. Okay, you know, I'm done. So this is where the real game takes place, in Hogwarts. Duh, you dingus. Alright, so let me pull up my menu here. Ha! This game thinks it's an RPG. They have senzu beans though. That's cool. Anyway, you learn a new counterattacking spell called Expelliarmus. It's useless. When suddenly, you're attacked by books! Aha! The books always used to beat me, but now I beat the books! Soon after, you meet up with the Weasley twins, and they have Ron and Harry search a hidden area, which only Ron has the power to reveal. The only thing you get out of this is a map. Oh, and this happened. But let me tell you about the stealth. It's great. It's so hard not to get caught. It's a real challenge. Whoops, I got caught. Aw man, I got caught again. Once you finish all tasks, which are shown on your taskbar, you can end the day to progress the game. Eventually, the trio gets told to obtain the Glacius Spellbook, and, hello?
So I forgot to mention that I got this game from my stepdad's house. It originally belonged to his daughters, and they just left it there, so I was like, well, don't mind if I do. So I took it, and the game was so badly scratched up that it would freeze every time I got to this part in the game. Fortunately, I used the old toothpaste cleaning trick, and presto, the game worked. Proceed, Austin.
To continue, the group makes their way through the frosty cavern. Hermione says she's cold, I shouted about a sexual remark, and at this point in the game you find out each character's special trait. Harry's is acrobatics, Ron's is seeing glowing walls, and Hermione's is good for getting on her knees? So, from then on, you play as Hermione, obtaining the Glacius Spellbook and getting to know the Glacius spell through various and very tedious puzzles. And of course, you can't just walk out with a simple breath, you gotta face the big bad boss! Oh, he's dead.
should go to the dungeons. Can we go now? I think we should go to potions. Should go to the dungeons. Snape's going to be angry if we're late.
Shut up, Ron! So once you enter the dungeon to attend potions class, Ron slips a few too many to Harry and he passes out again. This is also the point of the game where you learn how to use the potions to heal yourself and your partners. At the end of each potions class, Professor Snape asks for you to bring him ingredients for the next lesson's potion that you'll learn to create.
The horn of a graphorn.
Oh no. Oh man, they look scared. Alright, guess I should go out and get these ingredients. Excuse me? Did I just die? I'm sorry. I thought Harry could stand being in a couple inches deep in some fucking water!
And this is where my game came to an end. I never beat the game. In fact, I actually did get a little bit further into the game. Unfortunately, it kept crashing into a certain loading screen again. So that didn't want to work out. And I lost all my save progress as well up to that point. So I just quit. Call it lazy. Call it unprofessional. I just call it genuine irritation. So in conclusion, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is no good. And that's not just because of the shortcomings I had with my disc. In fact, the combat is a huge miss, leaving you wandering around like a chicken with its head cut off. It's bad. Really bad. And that's because of the targeting system. It's so clunky and imprecise. It's a huge bother, and it forces me to shoot things that I have no intention of shooting magic with. That way, I can navigate through my options without mindlessly just locking on to anything that's in front of me. The only positive thing I can give towards this game are your allies. They actually provide a lot more force than your allies would in a Call of Duty game. Even potions aren't a huge concern, seeing as how once you die, you just spawn in the exact room you just died in, and you randomly just pick them up, and by the time you do find some, they're of no use by then. And the map is almost as useless as the targeting system, seeing as how I couldn't flip through the various floors of Hogwarts to find where my destination was. What's the point of a map if I can't find my destination? But I won't lie, the game was actually kind of charming in a way, bringing back a lot of childhood memories and really reminded me of the things I adored as a kid. That's my one big thing I liked about this game. So I'll give it that.
That was rubbish, Malfoy.
Making your dreams come reality. Like Shia LaBeouf told you.